Good evening. I'd like to call the Fairmont City Council regular meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026, and it's 7 p.m. I'll ask the city clerk for a roll call of members, please.
Mayor Bolyard.
Present.
Councilmember Rice.
Here.
Councilmember Moran.
Here.
Councilmember Horton.
Yes.
Councilmember Wade.
Here.
Councilmember Weber.
Here.
Councilmember Soul.
Here.
Councilmember McDaniel.
Here.
Councilmember Newsom.
Thank you. For our opening ceremonies, we'll just have a few moments of silent reflection and prayer and meditation, and then be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilmember Soul.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Soul. Next on our agenda is approval for the minutes. Has everyone had the opportunity to review our minutes from our June 9th meeting? And if so, do I have a motion and a second to approve those minutes?
Second.
Thank you. Any corrections? As hearing none, all those in favor for approving our minutes from our regular meeting, June 9th, 2026, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? As hearing none, those minutes are approved. Moving on to public hearing and announcements, we have one public hearing before us this evening. If the city clerk would read that by title, please.
An ordinance of the Council of the City of Fairmont amending and supplementing ordinance number 390, adopted December 19th, 1972, as amended, codified as Article 173, Transit Authority of the provisions of the city's codified administrative code to correct a discrepancy in the name of said authority and to identify it by its correct name, which is the Fairmont-Marion County Transit Authority.
Thank you. Is there anyone present to speak in favor of this ordinance? Please step to the podium and address council. As seeing none, is there anyone present to speak in opposition? Please step forward and address council. Then I'll look to my colleagues. Any discussion from council regarding this ordinance? As hearing none, this public hearing is now closed. Moving on to announcements. Deputy Mayor Rice, do you have any announcements this evening?
I have no announcements. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Moran?
Yeah, if you haven't been to the farmer's market, you should be sure to check it out. It is every Tuesday from 4 to 7. There's a really great variety of fresh produce along with baked goods and other handmade items there. And it is a really great example of collaboration within our community between Fairmont State, a bunch of community volunteers, and the Fairmont-Marion County Transit Authority has been providing rides to the seniors, so they get their fresh produce every week. And also come from away at Fairmont State. There are still tickets available. You should go see it. It's a great show.
Thank you. Councilmember Horton?
Have nothing, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Wade?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple things I wanted to talk about. The United Way is doing the United for Kids drive. It's a hygiene drive. It's their 7th annual. You can go on their website and look for drop-off points where you can drop off hygiene items, and those all go to schools. The second thing, I know you guys are going to hear me probably get tired of talking about the 304 softball league. However, the lower division, which is the 7 to 9-year-olds, started tournaments this week. So projected all day Saturday and Sunday will be the wrap-up of those tournaments, with the championship game being projected, weather permitting, 3 o'clock on Sunday. Right now we have our middle and upper division girls. They are starting games and practicing. So those age ranges for the middle division are ages 10 to 13, and then the upper division is 14 to 18. I'd also like to say thank you again to Mayor and City Manager Travis for coming out last night to the start of the tournament to meet with the girls, and thank you guys again for your support, always being there, and just the city in general for its support. It's been great. We've had 230 girls enroll, so it's a great thing here for Fairmont.
Thank you. Councilmember Weber?
I'm sure the city manager is going to cover this in his report, but I've been asked by several people in my district when the demolition of the Locust Avenue properties that happened a year ago will begin. So that's all I have, is just a question for the city manager.
Mayor, I'll answer the question during my report.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilmember Sol.
Nothing at this time.
Councilmember McDaniel.
Nothing, Mayor.
Councilmember Newsom.
I handed everybody a flyer that has the Run for Recovery 5K run and a 2K walk. That's for the Union missions, rescue missions, for support of them. This is on Saturday, July 18th, and registration, if you do it before July 18th, it's $30, and after July 18th, it's $35. You can also buy sponsorship. So if you're interested, anybody here is interested, there's flyers back there on that back table also.
Thank you. I have no announcements this evening, and we have no citizens petitions before us this evening, so we'll move on to our city manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First, I'll just go ahead and cover Councilmember Weber's question, the Locust Avenue properties. So, as everyone saw from the news, the announcement that we made with Fairmont State University in partnership with First Exchange Bank was around the memorandum of understanding. The properties have not officially been closed on by the university, although they are working through that process. As anyone can imagine, with a financial institution, different property ownership structures, there's some components to work through with that. So they are working through that and anticipating closing. In anticipation of that, the university is also preparing to issue what will be essentially a bid document related to the demolition work associated with those structures. So once that bid document is out and bids are received, we'll have a better time frame on when those structures will be remediated. Although the university and I have had conversations about once they acquire those properties and technically have them on their books, we've discussed some other types of securing the site and some cleanup work that will happen in anticipation and prior to the demolition. There is one structure that I think is still an open question that has existing tenants in it as to whether or not that structure, when it will be closed on, that structure was never condemned or never impacted by the flooding, but was part of this transaction deal. So that piece is being worked through, ultimately undetermined as to whether or not that will ultimately move forward to demolition. So that is my answer around the Locust Avenue properties and where we are currently standing at there. I also wanted to give some park updates. Anyone driving past the Rotary Club of Fairmont Mini Park on Morgantown Avenue can see that project is moving right along. Paving work happened this weekend. Appreciate our crews in Public Works who were out working on the holiday to continue to keep that project moving along. There's some final miscellaneous pieces that need to be done there and some grass seeding, and then we'll be getting close to ribbon cutting, so please keep an eye out for that information for both the public's benefit as well as Mayor and City Council. We'll get that information out to you as soon as we have a date and what kind of works with the Rotary Club of Fairmont, as well as stuff going on. But we're hopeful that here in the next couple of weeks we're getting very, very close to seeing that park. But it's amazing to drive past and just see the improvement that's out there. I know there's some painting that still has to occur now that the new asphalt has been laid for what will be. I know we heard a lot of feedback from folks over the half-court basketball court that we are now reinstalling what will be a much nicer half-court basketball court down there, as well as I believe hopscotch and Foursquare, I think, is the other one that's being added. So that work is still ongoing, but it's looking very nice. Crews will then move and pivot from that. Our crews in Public Works will begin work on the Cornhole Pavilion at Windmill Park. And then I am also waiting for the dates on when the resurfacing of the basketball court is scheduled to take place. We'll put that information out, as well as it will close the basketball court for a short time period. And that will help deal with some of the damage issues from fire that we had up there last year. But we'll also deal with, as the members of City Council are aware, a section of that court that ever since its construction kind of held water and has allowed for it to occasionally be dirty. That will be corrected as part of that overlay of that. And then I know that Councilmember Horton, you and I have discussed that there's some water issues that are along the backside that our crews will also be addressing as part of that work, as some of the fencing will have to come down as part of this overlay. I also wanted to share that, staying on Windmill Park, that bidding will begin shortly. I don't have the exact date, but we'll certainly put that information out on the long-anticipated concession stand project. We had shared that with you all. We are at 100% CDs and reviewed those recently last week. I think probably Randy is probably more excited than anybody to see that project move forward. But seeing the success of what's going on at that park, now the girls softball league and the activity that's going on up on top of everything else that was already going on at that park, the concession stand has been long needed to be upgraded. And so we're excited for that project to be officially out to bid. And we'll certainly pushing that information out, as we'd love to see multitude of contractors bidding on that project. And I should just highlight, I think what folks will see as that project moves forward, we've made a lot of improvements to our park facilities, but also in particular when we're talking about Windmill Park, a park that is sees a significant amount of activity in it. Morris Park is another big park, but it doesn't have all of the pieces that Windmill Park has in terms of driving the amount of footprint and people that are up there. And I think the concession stand project will highlight what future improvements are coming when we think about lighting upgrades, turfing of fields, and other larger improvements. We know that there is further grouting work that is going to happen up there that's going to remove some of the foliage and some of the areas of existing park ground that we have that we know, having walked it, is fairly flat. So that will lead to additional amenities that are being looked at, as well as the fact that we're looking to get Washington Street reopened to try to move some of that vehicular traffic that is servicing our sanitary sewer plant and move, dump trucks do not stop on a dime. And as any of us that have to travel Maple Avenue understand, that is a very tight roadway. And so if we can move those trucks, as well as the fact that we're looking at construction activity happening at the sewer treatment plant in the distant future, and so having that roadway reopened will be a benefit as well. I also wanted to share that we are working on having another follow-up meeting with West Virginia DOH around various projects. I'm looking forward to that meeting, as we have a number of joint activities. Also hoping for larger update on exactly when work will be commencing on the Gateway Connector. I know they were pivoting on some work, as they had sections of, I believe, 19 closed for a short time period. And so having all of those arteries closed. But that project, that bid has been, as we updated City Council, that bid has been awarded to Anderson Excavating as the contractor on that. So we're looking forward to that project beginning shortly, that will have the complete resurfacing of the Gateway Connector. I also wanted to share my appreciation. It certainly was not necessary, although I take it as an award for the city, but appreciate the recognition from the 304 Girls Softball League. I know that they may at times think that they drive me crazy, and the answer to that is that's probably somewhat true. But I appreciate everything that they are doing for the community. To have that many girls, I think you all did not I think underestimated how much of a need there was for additional activities. And so the fact that you have continued to roll with it, and I know it's not, we have a council member involved in it, but there are a lot of volunteers, a lot of people that are moving that along. And I really want to give you all kudos for the work that you're doing, especially with young women in sports. And I think that's huge. So again, appreciate the recognition for the city associated with that. Madam Mayor, that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you. Moving on to consideration of council business, we have one item of pending business before us this evening, and that's the consideration the adoption of an ordinance. If the city clerk would read that by title, please.
An ordinance of the Council of the City of Fairmont amending and supplementing ordinance number 390, adopted December 19th, 1972, as amended, codified as Article 173, Transit Authority of the provisions of the city's codified administrative code, to correct a discrepancy in the name of said authority and to identify it by its correct name, which is the Fairmont Marion County Transit Authority.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second to approve this ordinance?
So moved.
Thank you. Any discussion regarding this ordinance from council? As hearing none, I will ask for a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Moran,
Yes.
Councilmember Rice,
Yes.
Councilmember Sol,
Yes.
Councilmember Weber,
Yes.
Councilmember Horton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wade,
Yes.
Councilmember Newsom, Councilmember McDaniel,
Yes.
Mayor Bolliard.
Yes. Moving on to news business, we have several items before us this evening. The first being the introduction, first reading, and setting a public hearing. The city clerk would read that by title, please. Synopsis, please.
An ordinance of the Council of the City of Fairmont repealing and replacing Section 5.3, Signs and Similar Structures of Article 5.0, Site Standards of the provisions of the City of Fairmont's Codified Planning and Zoning Code. By this proposed ordinance, if enacted, Council provides for the repeal and replacement of the existing sign ordinance. The Planning Commission for the City of Fairmont on April 15th, 2026, after public hearing duly noticed, approved the repeal and replacement and recommended the adoption of an ordinance to provide therefore. The proposed ordinance contains a saving clause.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second to set this public hearing for July 14th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion regarding this ordinance?
Mayor, I think I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Shay Strait for his thorough examination of the sign ordinance and the signage that we have in Fairmont, and to improve that signage. I think he did an excellent job in his presentation.
Thank you. Any other discussion? As hearing none, all those in favor for setting this public hearing for July 14th, 2026, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? As hearing none, that public hearing will be held at our next city council meeting on July 14th. The next item is also the introduction, first reading, and setting a public hearing. If the city clerk would read that by synopsis, please.
An ordinance of the Council of the City of Fairmont providing for and authorizing the purchase of the certain parcels of real estate situated in the City of Fairmont, Marion County, West Virginia, namely certification 2025 C27, Block 6, Lot Albert Court, Tax Map 0302, Parcel 6, 2025 C75, Lot Bourbon Street, Tax Map 0328, Parcel 215, 2025 C76, Lot Cleveland Avenue, Tax Map 0330, Parcel 10, 2025 C77, 3,325 square feet on Cleveland Avenue, Tax Map 0330, Parcel 12.01, 2025 C87, 0.62 acres on Hampton Road, Tax Map 0332, Parcel 51, 2025 C106, Lot Surface Maple Avenue, Tax Map 0334, Parcel 19, 2025 C111, Lot Ogden Avenue and Quincy Street, Tax Map 0334, Parcel 276, 2025 C114, Block P, Lots 6 and 7, Hobart Avenue, Tax Map 0336, Parcel 77, 2025 C115, Block Part Lot 5, Hobart Avenue, Tax Map 0336, Parcel 178, 2025 C133, Lot 451, Part Lot 452, Owens Avenue, Tax Map 0506, Parcel 84, 2025 C-155, Block 2, Lot 50, Bellevue Avenue, tax map 0606, parcel 56, by the City of Fairmont from the State of West Virginia Deputy Commissioner of Delinquent and Non-Entered Lands as a result of the non-payment of the real estate taxes and providing for and authorizing the conveyance and transfer of said parcels of real estate from the City of Fairmont to unidentified subsequent purchasers in accordance with the City of Fairmont's approved Home Rule Plan and the ordinances and resolutions adopted thereunder. By this proposed ordinance, the Council of the City of Fairmont provides for and authorizes the purchase of the real estate described in the ordinance title from the West Virginia State Auditor. The auditor offered the property for sale on June 2nd, 2026, as a result of the non-payment of real estate taxes due thereon. The city was the highest bidder at the sale, and as evidenced by the summation of the bid attached. In addition, by this proposed ordinance, the Council of the City of Fairmont further provides for and authorizes the subsequent transfer of real estate from the City of Fairmont to a subsequent purchaser or purchasers in accordance with the City of Fairmont's approved Home Rule Plan and the ordinances and resolutions adopted thereunder. The purchase will serve to provide for the removal of slum and blight. The purchase of such property is subject to the right of redemption by the title holders and other interested persons. In addition, by this proposed ordinance, the Council for the City of Fairmont ratifies, confirms, and approves all actions taken in furtherance of the transactions contemplated by this ordinance, which may have occurred prior to the ordinance's effective date.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second to set this public hearing for July 14th? Thank you. Any discussion regarding this ordinance? As hearing none, all those in favor for setting this public hearing for July 14th, 2026, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That public hearing will also be held on July 14th. The next item is also the introduction, first reading, and setting a public hearing. If the city clerk would read that by synopsis, please.
An ordinance of the Council of the City of Fairmont amending and supplementing Part 1 Administrative Code, Chapter 1, General Provisions, Article 104 Voting Districts, Section 104.08, 7th District of the Fairmont City Code to provide for the inclusion of certain annexed territory near Carriage Drive into the 7th Voting District. By this proposed ordinance, the Council of the City of Fairmont provides for the inclusion into the 7th voting district that certain territory annexed into the corporate limits by order of the Marion County Commission entered April 8th, 2026, consisting of 9.63 acres, more or less, situate near Carriage Drive. This ordinance is necessary to enfranchise the voters in the annexed territory.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second to set this public hearing for July 14th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion regarding this ordinance? As hearing none, all those in favor for setting this public hearing July 14th, 2026, please respond with aye.
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 Those opposed? That public hearing is also now set for July 14th. The next item is also the consideration, the adoption of a resolution. If the city clerk would read that by synopsis, please.
A resolution of the Council of the City of Fairmont awarding a City of Fairmont opioid settlement funds grant to the Fairmont Morgantown Housing Authority in the amount of $50,000. By this proposed resolution, the Council for the City of Fairmont awards a City of Fairmont opioid settlement funds grant to the Fairmont Morgantown Housing Authority in the amount of $50,000 for the purposes and objectives described in its grant application, i.e., the expansion of its existing home ownership center housing navigator program, which application is incorporated herein by reference. By this proposed resolution, the council provides the city manager or his designee with the authority to do all things reasonable and necessary in connection with the grant award.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion regarding this resolution?
I just want to say I was really impressed by the amount of letters of support they had from other organizations within the community. Makes me very optimistic about the work that they're going to do and the connection that they have.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, if I can, I also wanted to So the Housing Navigator program was still in existence when we were impacted by the Father's Day flash flood. The Housing Authority served what I think it was a pivotal role. Those folks in particular, I was answering Councilmember Weber's question about the aftermath of what the status is on those Locust Avenue properties, but the folks that needed to get housed after that flash flood event hit, I have never, and I've had opportunities to work across the state and seen communities that have been impacted by flooding. I've never seen that quick of movement to get people who were displaced, both temporary shelter, but then moved to permanent shelter in that quick of a time frame. People get temporary shelter, and that takes time of it in itself. But to get permanent housing for the folks that those folks were situated in, that Housing Navigator role, the data that they had of rentals and all of that was essential. There were a lot of people involved in that, but the Housing Authority played a central role in what they're doing. And then, as I've shared, the Housing Authority through their private arm, Augusta, has taken over a lot of those properties that were at once held by the Fairmont Community Development Partnership, and they are getting those units that were not in productive use back into use and getting people in those, as well as servicing those existing units that they had. So again, to Councilmember Moran, you mentioning that, but I also just my personal experience around the Housing Authority. I can't say enough. I mean, they're located here in the city, but they have played a crucial role in a couple of different things that we've done, and I think the future is bright for additional roles that they will play for us.
Thank you. Any other discussion before we vote this evening? As hearing none, I will ask for a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Wade,
Yes.
Councilmember Weber,
No, I abstain.
Councilmember Moran,
Yes.
Councilmember Rice,
Yes.
Councilmember Newsom. Yes. Councilmember Sol,
Yes.
Councilmember McDaniel,
Yes.
Councilmember Horton,
Yes.
Mayor Boyard.
Yes. That resolution will be adopted. The next item is adjournment. Do I have a motion, a second, to adjourn our meeting this evening?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, everybody. All those in favor for adjourning our meeting this evening, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? As hearing none, we are adjourned, and thank you, everyone.